Good evening. Thanks for joining us for 9 News at 10. I'm Tom Green.
And I'm Kim Christensen. A Boulder County jury returns to court tomorrow to decide the fate of the man who killed 10 people inside a King Soopers in March of 2021. The prosecution and defense made their closing arguments Friday. There is no dispute the gunman did it. The jury has to decide if Amalissa is guilty because he planned it and killed with deliberation and intent, or was he insane and incapable of telling right from wrong.
The families of the victims are waiting to see what happens in the case, now more than 3 years since they lost their loved ones. 9 News reporter Jennifer Meckles reports from Boulder tonight.
This is the spot I feel closest to my niece.
Robert Olds wanted to meet just steps away from the Table Mesa King Soopers front door.
This is the last spot that she was alive and affecting other people's lives in a positive way. And
Ricky Olds, his beloved niece.
I was at the trial every single day, you know, front row, listening to it all, and it was brutal. It's brutal to watch 10 people, innocent people, going about their normal daily lives and work, to be brutally executed.
I'm trying to take a deep breath before this week. The way that I view this, I'm my dad's voice.
The families knew this trial would be difficult. Erica Mahoney has worked very hard on her own healing.
There's just some level of acceptance through the whole thing, accepting that this happened, accepting that my dad is really gone, accepting this trial, accepting that, you know, a group of strangers will be making the decision.
She wanted to meet outside, surrounded by the beauty of Boulder County, where she feels most connected to her dad, Kevin Mahoney.
I was pregnant when my dad was killed, and so just making space for grief and joy at the same time, balancing life and death at the same time, has been a long journey.
These 10 families have waited years. Now, a jury will decide the shooter's fate.
If they've listened to the evidence in the case, they will come to the conclusion that he was sane at the time of these murders, and he planned them, and he knew right from wrong.
A trial is just one chapter, a verdict just one ending of each family's real story and the life they must continue living.
What I'm looking forward to is just the changing of the seasons. I'm excited about having this behind us. I'm excited about reconnecting with my dad on that level.
In honor of his niece and a lot of the adversity she overcame early in her life, Robert Olds plans to set up a foundation in Ricky's honor. The jury is back in court on Monday. In Boulder, Jennifer Meckles, 9 News.
Today, fall fell, and it started to feel like it. We got off to a soggy, chilly morning. It was exactly 0.8 of an inch in rain that fell in Denver. That actually makes it the rainiest day in Denver since April. Up in the mountains, well, some different colors there. The season's putting on quite the show. 9 News reporter Evan Krugel capturing the view in Summit County. You can see some of the reds. There are also some beautiful gold aspens. Snow-capped peaks in the background. Heather capturing another incredible view of Whetstone Mountain, that from Crested Butte.
It's breathtaking, Lauren. This really is, depending on your favorite, this has got to be the best time ever in Colorado.
You know, even me as a summer girl, I gotta love those photos. There's nothing, those are postcard shots.
Yeah,
and
they
you get
are.
to live amongst that when you live in Colorado. That's what makes us so lucky here. But yes, today was the first official day of fall. The autumnal equinox hit early this morning, and behind it, we saw a good amount of moisture across the state. We did get some rain across the Front Range and Eastern Plains, and we saw some snow off to the west. Once that rain left, it left some chillier temperatures behind. So if it felt cooler this afternoon, that's because it was. A lot of the area never even made it out of the 50s today. We maxed at just 61 degrees at DIA. High country seeing more of those 50s and 60s. It was still warm out west, middle 70s across the western slope. But right now, all across the Front Range and Eastern Plains, we're roughly between 5 to 15 degrees cooler than we were just this time last night. And remember, last night we were already starting to get the cooler, wet weather by this time. So we did see a big change in temperatures throughout the last 24 hours. So along with the change in temperatures, yes, we got some good, much needed moisture. We got almost an inch of rain at DIA. And again, we saw a couple inches of snow off to the west. Now, tomorrow we're going to see sunnier conditions with more seasonal temperatures. And then as we go through the rest of the week, it's going to get a bit warmer. So I'll have details on all of that in my full 7-day forecast. You'll certainly want to stay tuned.
A 16-year-old Indigenous girl has been missing out of Elizabeth for 2 weeks. Katie Michael's family says she disappeared from their home September 8th and left without her epilepsy medication.
9 News reporter Janelle Finch talked with her family today, and Janelle, it's a story that I think a lot of people are concerned about.
Absolutely. Katie's mom, Dawn, says on the morning of her daughter's disappearance, the two had breakfast together. She says Katie went up to her room, and when Dawn went to check on her hours later, she wasn't there. That was 14 days ago.
For the last 2 weeks, Dawn Michael
Yes, very much so.
has grappled with fear of the unknown.
For her not to contact somebody and say, you know, hey, I'm okay, but I don't want to come home, is what scares me the most.
Dawn hasn't heard from her daughter Katie since September 8th. She says she saw her in the morning, and hours later, she was gone.
None of any of it makes any sense.
Jennifer Puckett, Katie's aunt, says her niece wouldn't leave for days without checking in.
I want her to know that we all care for her and her friends care and her family cares, and we just really want to know she's okay.
Their family is trying to find her and bring her home.
I have flyers in my car all the time, so if
Me too.
Whatever location I'm at, me and my sister hit up all of the Park Meadows parking lot and just put stuff
And I
in
did
there.
Costco parking lot when I was there one day.
I did downtown Elizabeth, just anywhere I am. If I go into a store, I just say, hey, can I hang these up?
Not only are Dawn and Jennifer concerned for Katie's safety, they're also worried about her health. She's epileptic and doesn't have her medication.
Yeah, this is the first time she's been off of it since she was 2 months old.
As of Saturday, no one has picked up Katie's prescription. Without any contact from Katie, the family is leaning on hope.
I would just tell her no matter what happens that we love her and we just want to know she's okay.
Katie's family says they've taken on a lot of the ground searching themselves. Katie is an Alaska native, so the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Task Force has also been a resource since she went missing. In the meantime, Katie's family is continuing to put up flyers and spread the word about her disappearance. In the studio, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
You won't be able to attend tomorrow's Aurora City Council meeting in person. It's going to be held virtually. The last meeting was interrupted by a self-proclaimed white supremacist who spewed slurs against Jews and the LGBTQ community. Over the past couple of months, there have also been disruptions from people protesting the killing of Kylan Lewis at the hands of police. At tomorrow's meeting, City Council members will vote on a resolution that would require anyone who speaks during public comment to be physically at the meeting.
Denver Public Schools will kick off a series of meetings this week to explain its plans for school closures and consolidations. The school did close 3 schools a year ago, but it says more closures are needed because of continued drops in enrollment. DPS has not identified the schools that will close or merge yet. According to the district's plan, they'll look at areas where there are a cluster of schools without enough use of buildings. They will also have to consider the number of kids on free and reduced lunch, how much it would increase the distance to and from school for families, and if closing a school would further segregate students by race, language, or economic class.
And I think while this is a difficult decision, we hope that everybody understands why we're making the choices that we are.
The first community meeting is set for Tuesday at South High School. There will be more meetings around the district through October 15th. The list of school consolidations will then be released on November 7th, and 2 weeks later, the board is scheduled to vote.
Today's Pikes Peak Marathon didn't go exactly as planned. Organizers shortened the route because of the snow that fell overnight. The 26.2-mile race was cut by around a third of the distance. Instead of climbing to the summit, runners were told to turn around at bar camp. It was good news for some.
I did not get in the mileage that I needed to for training, so God did me a favor today.
Jonathan Aziz won the shortened marathon with a time of 1 hour, 46 minutes and 10 seconds.